And there we are. We're live. So, uh, welcome to what month is this? It's November's Pear Comics Hey Kitty live stream. Things have been a little weird, so we have some different things going on this time. Shen is back, which was not guaranteed as of yesterday. So we will have some Shen arts on the stream, but as she does not have a microphone yet, she is going to be silent. We have our first celebrity guest on this stream. So welcome to Fluttershy. Flutz, you're going to be helping us out here, chatting a bit, and going to be sharing some art too, which is super awesome. And then from there, I have a third thing that we might do depending on how the rest of the stream goes. But for now, we're going to kick things off. Everybody say hi. Let the people listening know who you are.
All right. Hi, this is Rye. Generic Fox number 2.
Hey, Fox.
And Flutz?
Here. It's more Flutterby's. I'm the
Did I say it with the SH?
Fluttershy.
Sorry.
Eh,
In my brain.
I don't blame you. I picked the worst.
It's the Pokemon, not the pony. The Pokemon Flutterby?
Oh, I have not been keeping up with Pokemon in years. Do they have one of those now?
I think so. Maybe I'm wrong.
But Ribbon best. Let's see.
All right, so I'm just gonna tweet out that we are live and then turn Twitter off so we don't get these little dings going in the background. And yes, Shen was on a boat, as she is. Shen has been having some fun down in Florida. Was kind enough to actually have me along for a little bit, so I got to go out and hang out in the sun on the beach and stuff like that, and then flew back home and got off the plane, and it had recently been snowing, and drive home in the sleet because I live in Washington. So, boy, was that a hard shift.
Oh, I can imagine. I don't like the cold enough as it is, but to be teased by nice Florida weather and then to have to go back, ugh.
You can keep your humidity.
That's true. It was definitely with the humid. My hair did weird things. All right. Still haven't actually gotten around to opening up the YouTube link to see if anybody's watching.
Well, so, Mezzus S says hello. I was about to say, well, so far no one's actually said anything in chat, so.
Oh, hello.
Well, good to know that at least somebody's made it around. Let's see here.
Aww.
So, aw.
What was there? Oh, box.
Nope. But also this
All right.
other gray
Looks
mammal
like
named
everything's running
Spot was there
correctly.
too.
And then he kept.
He swam. Yes, I did in fact at one point simply jump into the sea at night. There may have been some worry as to whether or not I could make it back to land.
Well, the sea was kind enough to give you back for this month's stream. So thank you, cold ocean.
I gave myself to the ocean, and the ocean spat me back out. So I guess we don't really have a theme this month. We had at least a nice like Halloween thing going last time. I've been working so hard on making sure that there was actually a stream going to happen this month that I didn't actually get around to planning any content other than fill in stuff. So, does anybody have any ideas of where Shen ought to start with some sketching here?
I have an idea. Shen, you've been
Well,
warned
that's-
months in advance and had time to prepare, but have you done your homework?
No.
Yeah, probably not.
I don't even know the question.
Draw us some Animal Crossing style Hey Kitty characters. I told you this was coming months ago and then couldn't make it to last month's stream.
It is, in fact, timely with the current release of the phone game, I suppose.
I'm not touching that.
The phone game?
Animal Crossing does to me.
Or Animal Crossing in general.
No. It's probably fun, but I'm not touching that. You won't hear from me for 5 months.
Sounds like Shen has already fallen down that well.
In that case, she has been doing her homework.
So, yeah, with the Anthroids, instead of having a semi-abandoned self-storage building, they decide to all go camping somewhere.
I love Robot Frog. I was so sad when Robot Frog left.
I have no idea what context that is.
Well, one of my villages
Is that a
NES game was a
is that
Robot Frog, and he was my favorite. I was so happy. Like I think I had got him from the beginning, and I was like, "Is that a Robot Frog?"
Oh man, you would have like plenty of opportunity to pester him for ages and ask him to stay if you had caught it beforehand.
Well, that's the thing. It's like you either play that game like every single day or not at all.
Right.
Like the minute you go to the bathroom, they leave.
It's like, wow, Mayor's been in this
Yeah, there
town.
does
Time to
seem to be a-
bounce.
those games are commitments.
And
Hello, Richard. Welcome to the chat. We are currently working on some Animal Crossing style characters here. Yeah, I've not actually played any of the Animal Crossing games. I have long been aware of them, but just never actually started. I lost enough hours to The Sims back in the day that I'm leery of those home builder decorator games. And then adding a cute anthropomorphic patina to it just sounds like a recipe for me losing many hours and getting very frustrated with not being able to find the right couch and love seat set that I really want or something.
off game that was just that.
Well, there was Happy Home Designer was just the decorating part, right?
Yeah, you're a professional designer or something.
That is a pretty adorable. I'm gonna go with Kitty. Could be Heather. Hard to tell without color.
But
Well, this one's going to be handy for the watching this, the people that watch this on YouTube after we've finished the stream, because it will have all these handy labels in the art that for things that get missed in the chat. The current artist is Shen. Fletz will be doing some art for us in a little bit. Can you imagine going back to Junkertown? That sounds like Animal Crossing meets Fallout. What is Junkertown?
Is that? That's not the Overwatch map, is it? That they just released? Or maybe they didn't? I don't remember. Yeah, Blizzard's game. I have no idea where they're going with this. But Blizzard's Overwatch released a new map called Junktown or something like that.
Oh. Okay. So we shifted games there.
Yeah, I'm not
confused
sure where this is coming from. Yeah.
I haven't actually played Overwatch in a while. I really enjoy it, but I feel like I don't have the time to dedicate it to get the skill level up that
right
it requires to really enjoy. Although I'm kind of loving this Heather as Animal Crossing character here.
That's Animal Crossing. They talk like that.
The name, does it have a name? What is the Animal Crossing version of Simlish?
Well, if you listen closely, it's actually based on what the text is. When you watch Japanese versions of the game, it actually sounds a little bit more like what they're saying. But if you listen closely, you can actually hear kind of what the text is saying.
Oh, so it is Simlish. It's just in Japanese.
Yeah, it's like a really set up computer the dialogue, basically.
That's funny.
Yeah, because I've only played the GameCube and Pocket Camp versions of this, but back in the GameCube one, when we were writing letters, when you typed in a letter, it would just say R, A, B, and I feel like it's those same sounds just sped up a lot for every letter that they say. They just mash them together. So yeah, it sounds vaguely like words, kind of sometimes.
Right, it is word-ish.
I'm just going to sketch on this pad right here so I don't have to be in another window.
That makes sense. Oh, Richard was talking about Animal Crossing, though. He's like, imagine coming back and it's just like post-apocalyptic raider town. That's
okay. Yeah.
I was listening to the Giant Bombcast, the Giant Beastcast, the East Coast one today, and they were talking about what does Tom Nook do afterwards when when you've quit playing the game and the town is all overrun with weeds and cockroaches. Does Tom Nook just pack up the suitcase full of money and head off to the next town? Does he just try to flip all those houses? Is it all getting bulldozed and turned into strip malls and stuff after you leave?
That's a terrifying thought.
I say as much. Since I mean, when you really break it down, he's cutting you a really good deal. There's no interest, time limit. He just gives you a loan and a house and crap. So, he's probably like he's probably laundering money or something with that business.
Right. Oh yeah,
Yeah, like he's totally
here's
not making a profit off of you.
$200,000 worth of home improvement here. Just pay me back whenever.
Yeah, detail finding based economy. Just try not to get killed by bees while you pay me back.
Listen, bees, they know what's going on, okay? Don't trust them.
I think they're actually hornets, which explains why they're so huge.
They are gigantic. It's terrifying.
Like a bunch of video games where it's clearly supposed to be like Japanese hornets. And sometimes it's like, they're bees. I'm like, no, man, those are the most terrifying hornets on Earth. Only in Japan.
Mm-hmm. And of course, that kind of explains why most of their function is to ruin your day. Because
Yeah.
bees will stay to their own devices and make honey and pollinate flowers, and hornets are just mad.
I guess that's one nice thing about living up here in the cold north is I don't have to deal with the hornets so much. But man, living in California, especially when I'd go up country, like just big wasp nests hanging out by the front door.
Yeah, I'm gonna say first, just been bees, friendly little bees, and friendly big bees.
The town is in a little bit worse disrepair than usual, it looks like.
Oh no. Somebody's been messing with the environment too.
Don't pull your weeds. That's what happens. You miss your weed pulling for one day, open up, it's the apocalypse. And then what's her name? The bell dog is like, how could you let this happen, Mayor?
Isabel.
Isabel, yeah.
I trusted you, Mayor. Didn't do a background check. Turns out you're not the guy.
Turns out the Mayor died 10 years ago.
I don't know, from a slightly different perspective, if you play all the games and then abandon them after like a couple months, just leaving a swath of weed-riddled towns in your wake.
Yeah, take care of their own towns. I mean, they got a robot frog. Come on, robot frog can't get tired. Robot frog can do some weeding.
Robot frogs are people too, just like robot cats and robot red pandas and
And whatever the heck kind of imp thing that I'm supposed to be. My little horn hat. Oh, she believed in you. Monster.
This is the most tragic of Animal Crossing timelines. All right, let's see here. Does anybody have something else? Yeah. Welcome to the Animal Crossing stream. featuring featuring Hey Kitty.
Kitty crossing, which is an actual term. I think it's for when you cross diagonally, corner to corner. That's a kitty crossing.
Corner.
Or a kitty corner. Yeah, I don't know. It's not something from here. Like I did not grow up with this term, so I'm not.
Yeah, no, it's a thing out here. Crossing kitty corner or kitty crossing is totally a thing. It was one of those like in the list of don't make sure you look both ways before crossing the street and stuff. It was like don't cross kitty corner. I wonder where that comes from. I wonder if that's just like cat's gonna walk where cat's gonna walk.
Because like previously, I had definitely heard that. I mean, cats are gonna walk where cats are gonna walk, but I heard it was more like catty corner, spelled more like person who hauls your golf clubs around.
Oh, like CADDY?
Yeah, but I'm on the East Coast here, so
Yeah, I'm trying to make the connection there between golf and crossing
I don't know.
diagonally. Yeah.
And take the shortest path to wherever wherever the golfer has sliced it this time. I don't know.
Right.
Golf is slow. You can take as much time as you want.
Golf is another one of those excuses, like fishing. That's just kind of a reason to get out of the house and drink some beer with the guys.
Right. Golf is an excuse to have a nice walk in the park while drinking a beer and occasionally hit stuff.
Right, little cars.
Don't underestimate those little cars.
Yes, and if you're like some friends of mine, drive little cars way too fast and find out what it takes to make one roll over.
Maybe not the best idea to combine that with the beer.
Yeah. Turns out that easy access to alcohol plus electric carts plus rolling hills makes for a number of bad situations.
Mm.
So we've got a request for what would Kitty look like if she were designed after a different cat, like a tiger maybe.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Tiger.
Tigers are pretty snazzy looking cats.
Oh yeah. I was just looking at some the other day at the zoo. They were pretty active.
It's definitely a bummer when you go to the zoo and all the big cats are just hiding in the corners.
Yeah, autumn weather.
Being cats, how dare they?
Yeah, like autumn weather though, like they start moving around and stuff when it's chilly like this.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're like wandering around, they're rolling around and doing the cute cat thing.
At the San Francisco Zoo, you can go kind of backstage. I don't know what it's called at a zoo during the feeding time, and you can go into like the place where all of the different large cat displays meet, and it's just like cage walls inside, and watch the caretakers come through and feed them these big like slabs of meat and stuff. And that's always fun. They're in there throwing meat up in the air and then catching it and being like cats playing with their food before they actually munch on it.
So when I went, they were doing the whole diagnostic and enrichment thing with one of the tigers, where they lowered the outer door down and they had a mesh there, a wire mesh for the tiger to like put her paws up against and stuff, and for them to like give her meatballs through. And when they were closing it, Tiger was walking away because she knew it was over. She knows when she gets the piece of chicken that it's over. But then as they're closing it, she kind of turns around and kind of starts growling a bit, and then just goes up and starts like leaning against the grate, and they just like really slowly finish the closing. It was kind of scary. Like I don't, like it wasn't like an aggressive like I'm gonna kill you growl, but it was like, okay, this cat maybe wants to play or something, and we'll be dead.
Right. And
Despite
this cat batting
animals
you around
being
is a little more
really
significant.
just big cats, they are really big cats.
Yeah, like that cat suddenly decided, no, wait, I don't want this to be over.
I'm digging tiger anthroid here. We may have to write in a tiger or two. What do you think, Shen? Do we have enough spots and need to add stripes? She can't answer, which is what makes that funny to me.
Sound like fun? Over and over, because this is going to be a very important character. Very important.
Oh, yeah.
Got another request in the chat here for some, quote, big gray dudes, rhinos, hippos, elephants, stuff like that. What do you think? A big, muscly rhino dude sound like fun?
Oh, yeah. Sounds like a ton of fun. To me, not speaking for Shen right now. Just forcing her into difficult artistry.
Doing it for your own good.
All right, we got a rhino upcoming then. So one of the things that we were working on in the sort of world building, the behind the scenes stuff, is like what are other anthroids used for? Like we've seen a domestic types mostly, and I mean domestic as in used in the home, not like a domestic cat. Although we have seen that as well.
Right.
But there's a whole set of anthroids that we don't really see because the setting is in the city for the most part.
True.
Of the like heavy industry worker anthroids. That's where you're going to see most of like the rhinos and elephants and bulls and cows and stuff like that is, farmhand work and construction and demolitions work, stuff like that, where building a big heavy duty body and then not having to pay them to work 18 hours a day is much more useful.
Oh man, just imagine like the Hey Kitty road trip. Like they go out like out of the city, and then they go into like the anthroid equivalent of a bar, and everyone is huge.
Everyone is huge and burly.
Yeah.
Kind of a little dirty from the day's work, and they just get weird looks for being small and dainty and also clean.
I just want a little. Can I use the phone? Then there's the tequila scene.
I'm digging this kind of fur coated high fashion rhino here, looking a little gangster.
Possibly mob boss rhino.
Like that idea?
Yeah, I run things around here. What do you want? You a cop? You gotta tell me if you a cop.
Yeah, one of the people in the chat asked about a lynx. So I have a bad habit of designing characters that I think will look cool, and then putting them into a comic and realizing afterwards that I have to draw that character over and over again.
And over and over.
Oh man.
So Mikey in my comic is an ocelot, and it turns out that ocelots have multiple different fur patterns over their body. So, like, they have spots and stripes and kind of patches, like larger multicolored spots um, on like their back and their tail and their front and their legs all have these sort of different shifting patterns. And so I was like, oh, I'll try to represent this in the character and draw, like spots here and patterns there. And Jen says, oh, yeah, turns out ocelots are hard to draw. Yeah, they really are. And I made like one of the main characters in my comic for a long time, an ocelot. And every single week would just like, why? Why did
So would you say for that very reason in comics there's not a lot of ocelots?
It's little.
No, I don't think I would say that.
Yeah. But I would.
It's a little, not a lottle.
It's a good thing you pay to be here.
Remember, kids, if you study hard in school and get a good job, you can be around whoever you want to be and make however stupid jokes you want, and they can't force you to leave. Don't take that to heart. You don't want to be me.
Yeah, we don't want to be you with your champagne and like the high donor's seat.
And the secret loathing because of the puns, yeah. For real though, y'all are great.
Interesting question here as to, like, is it all mammals? So if you've read Hey Fox, there is one exception, which is Secret. The character's name is Secret. The exception isn't Secret, who is a phoenix. But for the most part, yes, it's all mammals. And there is a reason for that in the world of Hey Kitty. The world of Hey Fox is a slightly more cartoonish version, so things are a little more slippery there. But I don't know if we'll ever actually get to explaining that in Hey Kitty. Not as in, I don't know if we'll get that far in the story, but more like, I don't know if there's a reason to explain it in the story.
Wasn't there a duck in Hey Kitty?
There's a platypus, right?
Yeah, there's a platypus.
I know. I knew that. I know biology.
That's like,
and yeah, you can ask Shen how much she loves drawing platypus. Platypi? Platypi.
Platypopolis.
Fire champion and
yeah, the whole fan club. The whole fan club really. There's well, I don't think Jay's
even
much
Jay,
of an issue. She's just lots
Jay
of bots, but except for Jay. Okay, but the flying squirrel, which adds all kinds of fun complications when you have to work in how clothing works around the flaps, and the platypus and the porcupine. So fun, interesting characters visually that are just such a bother to draw. Again, the downside of designing interesting characters first and then making them comic characters instead of designing comic characters. And I believe this will be, yes, this is a frog.
Ooh, frog wings and island.
Got shades of Disney's Frog Princess here. Princess and the Frog, whatever.
It was one, then the other.
And without color, there's only so much different shapes frogs can really come in anthros, I think. Because, well, they're frog shaped.
Ooh,
Yeah,
frogs
it's fair.
are like a bicyclist character because their legs are like big. But
Bicyclists or your track and field athletes or
so like like so yeah, when you have furry Tour de France. Oh wait, oh god, oh no, scrap that. I am your worst guest. I'm the worst celebrity guest.
Did we just wrap around to frog legs on like
cannibalism?
how about a
I kind of
pangolin?
feel like
There is a pangolin character in Hey Kitty that has shown up a couple of times. Will probably not show up again, but it is a character that showed up like literally walking past in the background of the mall scene. So Shen may or may not draw that character again, depending on whether or not I can convince her to to do that shot for shot. But it's a sidebar character that we ended up writing like a major backstory for, just on just because I don't know, because that's how I work. Uh, but she's green. She dyes her hide green because she wants to be a dragon, but she's a pangolin, so she just makes it look like she has green scales.
it's a pretty cool concept, though. You don't see too many of the equivalent of that equivalent in furry comics because they're already an escape from the human-centric world. There, like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I want to be this fantastic fantasy race here or whatever. But I guess that is kind of interesting since in the Hey Fox comic, you just said you've got Scarlet, who's an actual phoenix.
Secret.
So
Yeah,
who are? Oh yeah, see, did I say Scarlet?
you did, which totally makes sense for a phoenix character, right?
Don't know why I was thinking that was her name, but for the same reason we've been over, for some reason I thought Lucky's tail rings were inverted color for like months. But you've already got fantasy creatures running around, so who is and is not real is a good question.
Remixing.
So at some point here, Shan, give us a heads up when you want to break, and Flitz can take over for a bit. So yeah, there's kind of multiple levels of comic. So there's Hey Fox and Hey Kitty, and then there's a sort of meta layer where Fox is drawing Hey Fox, and that's kind of the layer that Hey Kitty takes place on. So it's a slightly different view of the world. So hey Flets, you ready to tag in here for a moment?
Oh, hang on. Yes. Wait, let me get the graphic. There we go.
All right, let me present to everyone, and there we go. Flets is up and running. We have our first celebrity guest here. So, yay, new artists, and angry angry Fox there hosting Celebrity Jeopardy apparently.
That is an absolute wonderful title card for this stream.
I may have to steal that for just the head of this one and possible future live streams.
And we could just be different shows. Okay, what am I drawing?
Well, let's start out with the basics. Let's start with Kitty.
Okay.
Or Champion. depending on whether you want to go,
Oh yeah. Let's see.
superhero costume or not.
Okay. Don't fail me now.
Now we just get real quiet and stare.
The eyes of the world are upon you. Do not fail them.
Oh. Now, as I'm only here because
The chat says, I see you drawing a human with big arms. Yes, apparently. You've got your superhero dude down there.
oh.
Hey, she comes with her own soundtrack.
Do you mind if I ask, what is the story behind the spoon?
So, it is one part homage to the Tick. It is one part random comedic non sequitur, and it is one part inspiration from the actual person who Kitty was originally inspired by / based on. So when I asked her, I can't even remember what the exact conversation was. It's now 12 years ago.
What's your hairstyle like?
Oops. We lost... oh, no. That's you pulling up other things.
Reference material.
Yes. Oh, no, we lost the feed. Oh, no, it's just...
No.
So, yeah, like I said, it's something like 15 years ago that Kitty first appeared in Hey Fox, and we were talking about Fox not hitting on her, but her feeling defensive around Fox, and her response was, I'd just smack him with a spoon, and I turned that into a comic where Fox was worrying about her being somewhat defenseless, and she pulls out a spoon that's as big as she is and smacks him over the head with it. And that just kind of stuck around as the joke for, a decade.
I see, and here I am walking in like 15 years later. Like, where do you buy those? Did when she like escaped? Was her like I was like looking for the backstory about like yes, Fox was a chef.
Right. We did. I have in fact found a spoon that is like 3 feet long with like a good 10-inch wide scoop on it. And I very nearly bought it just so that I could have an example of Kitty's spoon, an actual physical representation of.
Yeah, admit you want to hit people with it.
I would. I did not, unfortunately, buy it.
At the $50 tier, you can get hit with the $100 tier, you can hit anybody you want with the spoon.
At the $100 tier, you get to keep the spoon. At the $50 tier, you get hit by the spoon.
Oddly enough, we've got plenty of $50 tier slots left.
Right.
$25 tier. One of the artists hits another artist with a spoon. And then
strangely, our most popular tier, Fox, is still recovering.
It's genius because whenever they're unhappy, all of a sudden you get money.
Shan posts in the chat immediately. Dibs on hitting Fox. It's good to know I'm loved.
By spoons.
This is awesome getting to see Champion in a new art style.
Oh, this.
I have somewhere. I keep meaning to put it up, but I haven't built the website portion yet. Some of the fan art that I've gotten for Hey Fox and Hey Kitty over the years. It's been fascinating to me getting fan art for Hey Fox because it's universally better than the art that I draw for the comic. And having somebody be like, I really like your comic. Here, I drew this thing. And I'm just like, wow, that's way better than my comic. Thank you.
I know, right?
Yeah, but on the other hand, almost every week you've got a new comic up with some form of silliness, and that is really hard to do.
As exemplified by the almost in that statement.
Yeah. Try not to bring too much attention to that.
Although, to be fair, this particular week's lack of comic is entirely because I am an idiot and didn't upload it. I finished the comic on like Thursday. I had it ready to go and just forgot to actually post it to the site. So,
Should I like be trying to ink this or something, or just try to
sketch is just fine. I mean, you do do as much as you feel like doing, but there's no need to dig in too far.
Okay.
Shen had a request for you. How about a Sovereign Greece cameo?
Okay.
Okay.
Cameo. I mean, he has to be like sneaking in here somewhere, or
I don't think that cameo was the key part of that equation, but sure.
Oh my God,
she just wants beefy wrestler werewolf, dude.
Oh yeah.
I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah.
I mean, fair.
Oh wait, do I still? Oh!
Ooh, got reference material ready to go.
What? How did I know I need that? Okay, so he's got to be. What's he doing? What's he doing? Guitar? Is he? What's he doing? What's he doing?
OMG, I need to update his reference sheet.
Here we go. Let's just have him being beefy.
Should he be hitting Fox with the spoon?
Make everyone happy on the same drawing.
Maybe I'll use this pencil. Honk. Oh no, use the pencil. I know what I'm doing. I know exactly what I'm doing because I'm the specialist. This, I said we're going to move it. Oh, move. There we go. Okay.
that is some great. What do they call it? Flex and distort or whatever.
Squash and stretch.
Squash and stretch.
Squish.
I haven't even drawn. Let's see. His eyes are like this, right? There we go. See, this was like the last version of Celebrity Pear. It was actually
was a wrestling show.
Market, that wrestling market didn't really end well.
I think you're gonna have to draw the aftermath of the characters in various bandages hanging out in the waiting room of the hospital.
Oh, I gotta remember to make them like beefy. So I guess we're gonna move your corpse right over here. Yeah. Okay. I'm trying my best.
Need more room for all that beef.
I don't know wrestling songs.
Unfortunately, that's the only wrestling type song that I know.
What is Grease's intro music? I wonder what song does he come into the ring as, or two? Yeah, what song is playing when he comes into the ring? Sorry, that was hard to format for some reason.
Prepositions are difficult. What song does he come in around?
Yeah, give me some the arm. There we go. There we go. That's what that's what the audience wants, right?
Shin says, so far this is my favorite fan art.
And at the $60 level, there will be $100 or beefy arms for no reason in every panel. Let's see.
I'm okay with this.
Just everybody. Fan club, Kitty, just even Goth Bunny, just
I think I don't know if you made it to last month's stream, but there was a Kitty with Grease's arms request that haunts me.
Haunts you with how brilliant it is. After all. Let's see. Well, I guess it should be like that. And he's got some lines. I know how to draw this.
Yeah, sure. We believe you. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. I forgot about this. Okay, hang on. I forgot. Yeah. See, the key to drawing action is to make sounds while you draw it.
I'm glad to hear that I'm not the only one that does that.
And then you're like...
Also, you make the face when you're drawing an expression, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, no. And then you got like a mark right here. Okay. Oh, I guess you're going into the floor right now. There we go.
I guess so.
It's gonna be like, is your butt right here?
Through the ring.
Through the ring.
Well, it's either through the floor or at this point, kind of accordion squashed. Poor guy.
It's the question of how Looney Tunes this has gone, right?
That's not even a spoon. That's a golf club. I forgot.
Yeah, I kind of felt like you were getting more towards like soup ladle, which is close enough.
Yeah.
One of these days, someone's gonna be like, "Excuse me, that's a spoon. I'm gonna sue you for misrepresenting how you fight crime."
Well, speaking of misrepresenting, how long until someone, one of Kitty's evil villains of the Lex Luthor type, with a bunch of excess money with nothing else to do with it, buys a handful of identical model androids and equips them in a similar manner to try and deface her name, her good name. You've got the you've got like 5 almost champions running around with golf clubs and soup ladles.
The anti-champion league.
Yeah. But of course, because it's a comic, no one can actually tell the difference.
Oh yeah, like
Right.
they're like a slightly different shade of purple.
Yeah.
I think
They're so alike.
One's
I
not
think
even a
one of my
cat.
favorite things that has come in the writing of Hey Kitty as a group thing is like I write Hey Fox on my own, but Anne and I, really fleshed out Hey Kitty, and then Shen also has input in it. Is that Fox has become more and more of an idiot as the writing of Hey Kitty has progressed. And so everybody in his group of friends looking at the champion stuff on TV, even when it was just the sketch of her and going like, oh no, that's Kitty. And Fox just totally not getting it. Has been one of my favorite like running gags that has come out of this.
Fox is just being realistic and not giving in to the coincidences. There's like a billion of those similar model androids running around, and who knows what their other owners are out making them do. Someone's probably crazy enough to
Right.
fight crime.
Yeah, Fox is the one person that actually falls for the put on the mask and now they're completely unidentifiable, despite having like the same spots and everything.
Well, I mean, she is a model, so
Yeah.
know. Like, what if he's like, oh man, people keep asking me about my android. Hey, maybe you should get like your hair dyed, and then she's got to be like, oh no, the champion's got her hair dyed too. And it's like, man, what are the It's always like the idea of someone being so generic, and that's why their secret identity works. It's because like whenever
Right.
anybody them or their superhero form, it's like, well, I look kind of like a guy. Oh, he's just looks like some dude. I mean, he's sort of a kind of burly fellow. Like that could be anyone.
Suppose that even works for regular comics. Like all of the guys just look like miscellaneous buff comic book guy. So why wouldn't they get mistaken for each other?
And like Superman's just like, I'll dress up as you and go in your place, and it works. He's just like the square god. Like everybody looks like that. Well, no,
yeah.
everybody looks like this, so it's like, oh yeah, you can totally do it. Should we move on from this one, or do you?
Sure.
This one's looking pretty good as it is, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think. I don't know if anybody has any more requests. We're coming up on an hour here. I don't know how long you guys have, because I know this was a little bit more last minute in the planning than usual.
Well, I'm good for however long, but I'm not the one doing the work here.
Right. Let's see, Shen, do you have any more ideas, or is there anything that you wanted to sketch out here, Flats, before you sign off? Did you want to show us one of your bug girls, or You know, in a
Oh yeah, Bug Girls would be cool.
uh, in an alternate Hey Fox verse where they're insect characters. What does
Actually, bugs.
you know?
That's hard.
What is Champion as a bug?
Like, what kind of bug?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think. What kind of bug would Champion be?
That's the thing. Like my bug girls, they're just like bug motif fairies with like, so they got like weird buggy faces, but they're basically little people, you know, like
Yeah,
that. They're not like actual bugs, or I bet, you know, because then they'd look like that. You know?
well, I suppose. But that's the anthropomorphization, right? Is we're adding significantly more humanoid traits to. Uh,
To otherwise very, very inhuman animals.
right.
Yeah, that's true. Well, let's see. I think ladybugs have eyes like this if she wants to be a ladybug, or maybe grasshoppers too.
There
Is
you
there
go.
such a thing as a kitty bug?
I think you're designing one.
That's a very kitty bug face.
Yes, it is.
Let's see, what kind of bug are we dealing with? Hmm. There we go. Now we know you're the. Oh wait, there we go. I almost forgot.
Of course. Otherwise, everyone would recognize her.
You know, bugs are very distinct. Actually, wasps can like recognize each other. They recognize each other's faces.
I did not know that.
Yeah, they
That's
like
pretty cool, actually.
distinct faces within their hive, and they can actually like recognize each other. You need to have like little spindly arms. And then, oh yeah, so it's like head, and then thorax, and there's the abdomen. Yeah, I know biology.
I'm really enjoying this.
She's got like her little racing stripe on there. Wait, what happens when all your hotkeys
Sean says this is adorable.
bug? Bug. Okay. I guess you're gonna have a racing stripe on your abdomen. You get a little. Happen. Oh, I switched colors after having. You get a little racing stripe on your abdomen. And then you're gonna have a little bustier, even though you're a bug, so you don't have any boobies. And then a racing stripe right here.
Also part of that whole anthropomorphization thing.
I don't know. Could be
Always
part
a
of the
little
disguise.
odd when there's always a little odd when it's like reptiles or stuff like that. They're like very distinctly, let's say, mammalian traits going on.
Yeah. I have mixed feelings about it because, like, sometimes, like, there's something clever happening, and then there's something really weird happening. Like, what was it? The pebble and the penguin. There's both like, why the heck does that penguin have teeth in every single shot?
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I forgot about that.
Talk. But at the same time, the lady penguins have this thing going on where it almost looks like they have like a little dress, and then their feet kind of pop out here, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of clever. That's actually pretty clever to do with penguins.
Yeah.
I swear that movie. I saw. Am I the only person I saw ads for it? And I was like, I didn't see the movie at the time, but I was like, oh, clearly this is some sort of like Final Fantasy plot, you know. And then it actually has absolutely nothing to do with the mystical penguin. Pebble. Like the Pebble has no bearing on the story whatsoever.
Yeah, I do vaguely remember the Pebble in the advertising being like, "We must get the Pebble." Like there was some power or deeper meaning to it or something, and not just like it's the pretty bauble that he wants to use for a wedding ring.
Yeah, like it actually didn't have anything to do with anything. Oh, wait, I don't think this.
Okay, about when did this movie come out? Because I feel like I've seen it, but I feel like it's one of those things that I saw when I was like 5 or 6 or something. Because I only vaguely remember
Yeah,
anything about it.
It's the late 90s?
it came out a while ago.
Okay, yeah, late 90s would definitely have me at like single
Let me
digits in age, so.
1995.
Oh goodness, I was 2. Or 3, depending on when in 1995.
Well, there's a
Boy.
chance you could have seen a movie at 2 or 3.
Well, yeah, but that explains why I don't remember most of it.
Yeah, like,
Right.
Because I was pretty aware that like the pebble was a thing he wanted to give to his girlfriend or whatever, but that was about all I could have told you beforehand.
about all there is to say about the movie.
Yeah, to
Maybe
be
I
fair,
remember more than
that's
I
most
give
of
myself credit for.
it.
I remember seeing, I saw Rock-a-Doodle in the theater.
Wow.
Oh no, I messed up this curve here. Now it doesn't look good anymore. No. Oh,
That was 1992.
God, was it?
Yeah,
I feel like, well, I guess that makes sense.
I would have been like 12.
I was
And I'm the
not
gray
even
muscle here. But
alive.
yeah.
You are literally gray, though, so that hardly counts.
there is an irony to making a gray character that I suppose I will age into him more.
Yeah, that's a good point. Man, this is
This is
bothering me. And let's see. So, how's this for your bug-overs?
I love it.
Bug spinner.
Instead of anthroids, you've got arthroids.
Yes, Arthroid. But the thing is that the fact that the Arthroids, they're freaks, because they have internal skeletons.
Right.
It's so
How
weird.
weird is that? I love the idea that this is going on some micro scale somewhere around the Hayverse. Just like if you were to zoom into the tree,
Yeah, you have that like. Meanwhile, and then there's like a little glass. Meanwhile, in
right.
Giant Pear Comics, in Pear Seed Comics, she is tiny, but she can leap as far as something.
Able to leap tall blades of grass in a single bound.
Like, oh, what's that? Well, they're like, no, well, we do that too because we're bugs. Yeah, but this is a really tall blade of black grass. Yeah, well, she can leap a whole cereal box. Leaping a cereal box. I don't know. Or something. A cereal box. Look up in the air that's not the sky because we're really short. It would be pretty hard to be a bug superhero because like bugs can do all sorts of things. All right.
Yeah.
They're like, well, what can't? Yeah, so I can lift 10 times my weight.
I can lift 10 times the weight.
Just
Well,
like
yeah, so can the ants. I can jump over this entire cereal box. Well, yeah, so can the fleas.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
like they can just fly over there. This whole segment of the population just flies.
That's why there's no bug superheroes.
Bugs are already superheroes.
Man, have you
In
talked?
a land where everybody has power, nobody has any power.
Thank your bug
Wasn't
today.
that lost his name. Syndrome
Yeah,
from
okay. The Incredibles there.
The Incredibles, yeah.
Super bug.
So we have superheroes whose power is that they can change to the size of and speak to insects, i.e., Ant-Man. I wonder if bug superheroes can change to the size of and speak to paramecia.
Just picturing
You have Amoeba Man.
Yeah.
like got this ant on the phone right here. He calls up his aunt.
Calls up his aunt.
Oh,
Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, what is it? Like he's like getting all the new gossip from her, and that's his intel. And people are like,
Yeah.
"How do you?" And they're like, "Have you talked to?" If you just bother to talk to your aunt once in a while,
right.
you might learn.
It's less a superpower and more just like I'm polite. Jeez.
See, why won't Marvel hire me? I'm brilliant.
Stage one of Ant-Man that it's just he talks to his aunt. It's like really it helps a surprising amount.
He's like being their friend. He's he's a good example to the kids. He's very listening and understanding.
Spider-Man's like, dude, I live with mine. Like, I don't know what your deal is.
Well, he is the friendly neighborhood. Who knew who knew all that, the arthropod spirit was actually community service.
Right. Well, this has been awesome, Flitz. Thank you so much. I think we're going to tag Shen back in here and we'll finish out her page and then I think we'll probably be done. We've been going for a little over an hour now.
All right.
So as soon as I see Shen's stuff shift back to streaming, I will tag her over. But right now I'm not getting any video from her.
Oh, no. Oh,
there we go.
It's getting dark.
Present to everyone. Did I do that wrong? No, I didn't. Yay, it worked.
Yay.
Well, thank you so much. That was super fun. I hope we'll have you on again at some point. And like we were talking about off stream, like celebrity Pear Comics, bringing in some other artists to have some fun and check out their stuff. That's what I needed from you.
Stuff.
Where should people go to see more of your work? Flutz.
Well, I mean, anybody.
Do you want to point them at your FA or your?
If anybody from my FA crowd is here, they probably already know where to find me. Because these days, that's basically where I am. Except for Void.
Well, remember, this is going to go up on YouTube after we're done with this, and so other people are going to see this that aren't watching live.
Well, for the time being, you could probably take a quick peek at Bugs with Fur Coats on Fur Affinity.
There we go, and I'll throw that link in the show notes as well. Shen is back, and it looks like she's been enjoying a tropical cocktail.
What? Meanwhile, oh wait, I gotta go to the. I was expecting my screen to change. Here we go. See, the vacation never truly ended.
Vacation is a state of mind and a fancy cocktail.
So like, what's
There's some truth to that.
a cheap cocktail? 9 to 5? Is there a cocktail called 9 to 5?
What is a 9 to 5 cocktail? I missed part of that.
That's the question.
You drink it slowly, and then you're basically destroyed by the end of it.
Isn't that just a really big cocktail?
It's like an AMF. Or like a really heavy-duty Long Island iced tea, right?
Yeah, it's like, this is neither Long Island nor ice. It's a hospital visit.
What is... There's a movie, Species, came out years ago and had Forrest Whitaker in it. It's a bad sci-fi movie. But Forrest Whitaker plays this character that innocent guy on the team, and at one point they take him to a bar and they buy him a Long Island iced tea, and the next scene is him just totally drunk, and he says, "You know what? I don't think there's any tea in this."
I always love the Looney Tunes gag with the Long Island iced tea. He's like, you know, down that around.
I can't say I can think of a cocktail having made an actual appearance in a Looney Tunes app, but I'm sure it has.
Yeah, cartoon.
Like the closest I can think of is a handful of times where they make the like I should stop drinking because I'm seeing things joke where like
Right.
the cat sees the giant incredibly buff bird for one reason or another, and they pull the flask out from an invisible pocket, take a look at it, and toss it over their shoulders. That's the closest I can think of.
I was watching like an old like Warner Brothers cartoon where they went to the zoo, and there's a cage full of pink elephants, and they're like, "Oh, haha, this is from our New Year's party."
Nice.
No, I think I'm thinking of like an old MGM cartoon, like one of the Red Hot Riding Hood ones, because that was probably like a grandma.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm not sure what is happening here in the art.
Doing? That puts the Long Island iced tea.
Hey.
All right, that's probably a good place to close it off. Thank you, everybody, for coming into the stream this month. Is probably also going to be a little weird because it'll be the holiday stream. We will try to get it set up a little earlier, give you some more warning to join us, as Shen has apparently finished her Long Island iced tea. But Shen will now have access to her computer and stuff, so we don't have to worry so much about when we'll be able to do stuff. The bigger question is actually going to be when I'm going to be in town and not crazy busy. But more Hey Kitty to come. think we're coming up on one of my favorite little sections here. We get to Kitty getting back into the crime fighting gig, and yeah, it's going to be a ton of fun. So thank you, Shan, for the arts, and thank you, Fletz, for the arts, and thank you, Rye, for coming in and hanging out.
Oh, thanks.
And
But yes, totally awesome job by the both of y'all this month.
Yeah, this has been awesome. Save those files, and yeah, send me some copies, and I'll post them later. This has been great. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Ciao.